Yes, I'm not talking about Kappa. I'm not talking about the anime scheme today. I'm not talking about whatever the problem is. I am talking about a fan-made series made by a YouTuber. The series has been around for some time, and the final episode of the series just aired like yesterday, I think. And the series is called The Darkest Age of Nintendo. Oh wait, I'm sorry, the darker. I mean, sorry, that's a little more. That's a little too dramatic. It's called The Dark Age of Nintendo. Did I get it right? Okay, good. So this series was made by a YouTuber called Scott the Woz. Okay. I've been following Scott the Woz for some time. I liked the channels back then when I was just there, and I gotta say, I watched his videos over and over again. Okay, no kidding. I watched his old videos over and over and over again. I didn't have time to watch the new ones, so yeah. And I was also too busy watching Baldi. Yeah, that dead game franchise that's probably dead again. That's been revived countlessly and has always been dead. But I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. Let's talk about Scott. So, Scott the Woz, right? He's a comedian gaming review channel who talks about a lot of things, like Heavy Rain and, what was the other one again? Oh, right, CD! He, loves a lot of games. I mean, a lot of games. The classics. Donkey Kong, Barrel Blast, Fling Smash, Man 8, the classic kind. But he hates only one thing, and that's Chibi Robo Ziplash. You know someone call me a Chibi Robo Ziplash? He'll always go, this game blows, and then proceeds to start in the toilet. However, he always has this sort of a cinematic take on his videos, such for instance, the greatest mysteries of gaming. It shows him talking about gaming mysteries for a while, and then it cuts to a sort of a house with other people, and apparently some dude named Chad, who gives him Jimmy Johns, and then dies. Okay, I said too much. His view count always doesn't dip below like 1 million subscribers, and his sub count is always 1 million subscribers each. Oh, sorry. His sub count is going to you know what? Hi. He's just sub count is increasing all the time. But what if Scott the Woz, who's always known for being comedy, always comedy, made a series about the worst Nintendo games of all time? Well, then you have the worst video games of all time, also known as the Dark Age Nintendo. Good for you, Scott. So, yeah, he made a series called, The Dark Age Nintendo, and he uploaded the first video of the series back in, March. It also showed this therapist who was always like, so, tell me where it all began. And Scott is always like, okay, hey y'all, Scott here. And then and the therapist gets super annoyed, and then he just loses when he shows him Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, and then proceeds to say no a few times, and then when Scott finally shows him from tomorrow's head is Ultra Smash, he just leaves. Pretty cool, huh? So this will be a 3-part series, of course. It started with Amiibo Festival, then it followed up with Ultra Fast, and then finally ending with Ziplash, the game that he hates. Many people like this series a lot, and I do too. Except for the dislikers. But how good was Scott's series? Well, since I have nothing better to do, let's take a look. But first, a little backstory about the series as a whole. So, Scott says there's always a lot of bad video games, like Sonic 06, Bomberman X-Zero, or those data design interactive games that make me want to vomit. But the only person who hasn't been able to make bad video games is the one and only Nintendo. Nintendo's always good for making at least the best video games of all time, whatever it be Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, Pac-Man, or, the other classics. And those games have always been defined as the best video games of all time. I said best because I want to make it a little more dramatic. and the Nintendo Switch games have always been a masterpiece. But during the Wii U era, uh, things have been single so good for Nintendo. You had a lot of bad video games, like Devil's Third, Amiibo Tap, and just a lot of bad video games. You know that. But 2015 is where it really began to happen. One of the most three worst video games of all time almost killed Nintendo forever. And what do you know? One of them happened to be Amiibo Festival. Yes, Amiibo Festival, designed by ND Cube. This is basically a sort of a spin-off of the original Animal Crossing games. People were kind of disappointed when we were hoping for a true Wii U Animal Crossing game, but instead we got this. Why? And it's just odd. The controls are all slippery. It's just what? It's just ugh. I can't even say more about the game. It's just so bad. But Scott has a plan. He intends to play the game with some friends, and one of them happened to be a Gex lover. So he fires up Gex instead. Kind of. And so they play Animal Crossing and then stop playing after they realize it's bad. And then they play Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, huh? Well, that's kind of weird. So, the second game was Mario Tennis Ultra Smash that Scott covered. It was basically supposed to be a following to the Mario Tennis series. It was supposed to be one of the best video games of all time because we needed a Mario Tennis game after so long. But then we met the cruel reality of the worst possible ability. The game being the worst video game of all time. And when I happen to know, it did happen to be the worst video game of all time. so, Scott, again, and some friends, they played the game. One of them gets angry about not being any ultra mushrooms. One guy gets angry, and the other guy gets angry, and that's it. Next gameplay session, huh? But there's also the third game, and that's called Chibi Robo Ziplash. I'm probably spoiling the whole thing by now. So, yeah, we know this was gonna happen. Scott, like I said before, hates Chibi Robo Ziplash, and for him to talk about it, it's just a terrifying reality. I mean, would you even want to play Chibi Robo Ziplash? I mean, the original game, Chibi Robo, was already a disaster. It didn't sell well. The next game, Power Patrol, also didn't sell well because it was only available on Walmart. The other game, the new new motion controllers, was also available in Japan, and disaster goes on and on and on and on and on. You know what? Yeah, he just plays the game and then just that's just pretty much about it. Look, I hate Chibi Robo as much as you do, Scott. I'm sorry you had to play this, but hey, at least I didn't have to play it. So that was the whole summary of the series or plot. No, I probably say too much. But what did I think of the series as a whole? Yes, I'm finally answering a question after a long summary of the whole series. Well, for starters, I'm actually thinking it was pretty good. I like the overarching comedy with this thing. I also like the therapist guy who always makes the funniest quotes like oh and ah, and yeah, he just makes a lot of noises and also some funny stuff like just you're right. But yeah. I also like when Scott just played the game while not trying to lose his cool, but all the other guys did. That's how much of his champ you see. Um, but if I did have to give one criticism to it, is that it kind of does the same thing over and over again. I mean, darkest. I mean, just have the have the different plot for each episode. You don't have to be therapists. Scott invites friends, other friend, and just. I mean, I guess the third video does nothing different, but I digress. So I think that's gonna cover for this whole entire video, guys. So I like the series. It's not it's great and it's cool and I really want to rewatch it again. But I think I gotta sign off for now. It's pretty difficult time trying to cover this, but I think I did it well. So guys, if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment below, and like this video, guys. Okay. Bye.